From the Eyewitness News Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jeff Smith with this AccuWeather alert as we continue to track Tropical Storm Henri, about to become a hurricane overnight tonight. And the National Hurricane Center growing increasingly confident that there will be hurricane conditions on Long Island. That's why they have issued a hurricane warning now in effect for Suffolk County during the day on Sunday. There's a tropical storm warning for Nassau. We're talking about for coastal Westchester and Fairfield County, Connecticut as well. And now also, as of that 5 p.m. advisory, tropical storm watches have been shifted off to the west to include the 5 boroughs of New York City and the neighboring areas of northeastern New Jersey, also interior Westchester and Fairfield County, Connecticut, because everything's been shifting a little bit to the west with this system. So that means the whole wind field will shift to the west, and some of those stronger winds can get a little bit farther inland. Right along the coast, a storm surge warning in effect. For Long Island Sound, we're talking about south coastal parts of Fairfield County, Connecticut, also the north shore of Suffolk County, Long Island, out onto the Twin Forks, including the north and south shores of the Twin Forks. And it's a storm surge watch in effect, south shore of southwestern Suffolk County and also into Nassau County, even parts of New York City under that as well. Henri right now, 70-mile-per-hour sustained winds, now moving to the north at 7 miles per hour, so it's moving directly in the direction of southern New England and Long Island, and it will continue on that direction during the next 24 to 48 hours, and it will become a hurricane, we think, overnight tonight over the very warm waters of the Gulf Stream. Basically, the warm ocean waters are fuel for these storms, and it will be getting some of that fuel, high-octane fuel, overnight tonight into the day tomorrow. That's why we're predicting it to get up to about 85 miles per hour during the day tomorrow into late tomorrow night. Maybe weakening just a little bit, but probably not below hurricane status as it makes a potential landfall during the day on Sunday. Right now we're targeting anywhere from Long Island over towards southeastern parts of New England, say southeastern Connecticut and Rhode Island for a landfall. But the National Hurricane Center, right in the center of this track, explicitly forecasting a landfall over eastern parts of Long Island. Now that shaded area, though, is your potential track area, so it could conceivably track along the western side of that envelope or along the eastern side as well. But we're thinking right around, say, midday, early afternoon on Sunday for a potential landfall of Henri. Right now, not a whole lot going on, just a couple of showers out there, and there have been some localized downpours in spots, especially well north and west of New York City. And this kind of regime will continue into the day tomorrow as well. It's almost indirectly related to Henri. It's a little system moving in from the west, kind of interacting with the moisture streaming up the coast. Rough surf and rip currents are developing right now, and they'll really be noticeable at the beaches during the day tomorrow. Don't go in the water. There's a very high risk of rip currents out there. The outer rain bands from Henri probably begin to impact coastal areas very late tomorrow night into the wee hours of Sunday morning. But the brunt of this storm by far is during the daylight hours of Sunday. And still, it looks like the worst of the wind and rain will be centered over eastern parts of Long Island. Let's track it all for you on the Futurecast. And you see, overnight tonight into the day tomorrow, yes, a scattering of showers, perhaps a thunder shower. Now, in such a humid air mass ahead of Henri, if any shower does develop, it could actually be on the heavy side briefly. But you do have time to prepare for this storm overnight tonight into the day tomorrow. So have a plan in place and definitely bring in any loose objects from outside, or at least tie them down, because we're going to be getting some high winds during the day on Sunday. Watch what happens by very late tomorrow night. Some of the outer rain bands are visible by that point south and east of our area by midnight tomorrow night, and they start moving onshore basically first thing Sunday morning. So right off the bat Sunday morning, we could be dealing with tropical storm conditions, maybe some winds 40 miles per hour plus along coastal areas. And then the core of the storm approaches our region during the day on Sunday. Now, this particular model is a perfect example of, yeah, this storm could take a path a little bit farther west than what the National Hurricane Center was predicting, kind of along the western edge of that cone of uncertainty, that shaded area that we were showing you earlier. If that happens, that could have huge ramifications on the forecast here, say in the New York City area. We could be dealing with more rain and wind than we were bargaining for originally. But still, even if it takes a track like this, say it makes landfall on the Nassau-Suffolk border, I think the strongest winds still end up over eastern parts of Long Island over Suffolk County. And by that, I mean potentially gusting up to 100 miles per hour during the day on Sunday out by the Twin Forks. About 60 to 80 mile per hour gusts are possible near Riverhead. It's 40 to 60 mile per hour gusts over a pretty wide swath, including Nassau and much of western Suffolk. That extends into Fairfield County, Connecticut as well. And just west of there including New York City, maybe some 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. It does ramp down significantly as you head inland. In terms of rainfall, maybe upwards of an inch or so in the city, 1 to 2 inches just off to the east, and then it goes up significantly eastern Long Island, the eastern two-thirds of Suffolk, and the 2 to 4 inch zone until you get out to the Twin Forks, and we're looking at potentially 4 to 8 inches of rainfall in that area. And of course, this is a triple threat. We get the wind, we get the rain, we also get the coastal flooding, the storm surge. And the expected surge values that we're talking about can be enhanced a little bit by the fact that as we head into Sunday, we're heading into a full moon. And that means tides are astronomically higher than normal because of that full moon. So for that Sunday morning high tide cycle, you got to watch for a 1 to 3 foot storm surge across much of our coastline, south shore of Long Island, down the Jersey Shore, except there could be a 3 to 6 foot storm surge, which could produce major inundation out over the Twin Forks of Long Island in low-lying areas. And also right here along the north shore of Suffolk County, north shore of Nassau, because this onshore wind will be funneling water. You can see the shape of Long Island Sound, almost like a funnel here. It can kind of siphon water out of the Atlantic, get it funneling into Long Island Sound and produce a pretty significant storm surge there, especially along the north shore of Long Island. And some of that could extend into coastal southwestern Connecticut, coastal Westchester County as well. So that's something to keep an eye on, that Sunday morning high tide cycle in particular. There's another high tide cycle, of course, Sunday evening. By then, the storm may have moved up into New England, and our winds may be more offshore by that point. We'll have to see. And all of this can cause power outages. And we're looking for localized power outages, even in and around New York City. It becomes more of a regional threat as you head out into central parts of Suffolk County, and just widespread power outages are a distinct possibility out over the Twin Forks, where again you could be getting winds gusting 80 to 100 miles per hour in that area. So it would not be surprising at all if you get widespread power outages out there. So here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Again, you can prepare during the day tomorrow. There will be a couple of showers, maybe a thunder shower around. There's going to be very rough surf at the beaches, but much of the time ends up just being dry and pretty quiet. 82 for a high. And then again, very late tomorrow night, those outer rain bands come in from Henri along coastal areas, and then it really goes downhill in a hurry during the day on Sunday. First thing in the morning, again, right at the coast, could be some tropical storm conditions. And then the brunt of the storm is probably late morning into the early part of the afternoon, especially east of New York City. That high only getting up to 79 because of all the rain and the clouds around. Sun returning on Monday, maybe a couple of showers out there, and it does turn very warm. So we're hoping a lot of people do not lose power, because you'll lose your air conditioning. And look at Tuesday and Wednesday, we're up near the 90-degree mark, maybe that thunder threat returning by Wednesday. Don't forget, this is the time to download it, the ABC 7NY News app. You download that in the App Store, also on Google Play. And we have a very important update coming up tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock. We'll be getting the 11 o'clock advisory, the new advisory from the National Hurricane Center. We will see you then.